So again, I will re-echo this. East Africa TV radio was more than a media house. It was a movement. Given my personality, I could not deliver that. So nenonya yabana nenkola auditions zao. Then I landed on Mary Luswata.
Yes.
Very talented. Talented.
A nightmare to everyone.
Mundu menye.
Seeking like critics, and I remember your kind of game you had hitting. There's a time go hosting Jenkins Bukas and Robert Kalumba.
Yes, Robert Kalumba.
That was
Moses Serugo.
Had hit.
Yes.
I think that's the first time Ugandan artists felt like they are criticized. It was like an idea or
no, it is. I mean, it's that is how I was trained.
Okay, Vibe Life UG, tubaniriza gye musinziro tulaba. Batt badru gemanya gange, assalamu alaikum. It's a holy month. We're pushing on nga bulijjo. We don't stop. And twebabaza the love, the support, the feedback, the advertisers, everyone. Tubawa ekitiibwa kingi nnyo. Today is a special day for me. Basically, era mugenda kiraba mu maaso era mujja kiwulirako. I'm with the man behind me. He laid the foundation. Nantekako foundation. My work was to put it where it's supposed to be. He's a radio personality, a DJ, legendary DJ, TV personality, producer, everything. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Bush Baby. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Nasanya kulaba.
Nasanya kulaba Bush Baby.
I'm so happy to see you.
I know, right?
And most importantly, I'm so proud of you.
You should. You got me. You know, this is like a dream come true. I'm hosting Bush Baby. I mean, it's like I'm overwhelmed, but we shall move regardless. Bush, have you been? Ogambo
Well, man, this
you a camouflage person.
Bintu ya camouflage man.
We're missing out on kubera maje.
Mirundi ngesatu.
Oh.
Mirundi ngesatu gwasooka. Naina my cousin. He was called Edward. In 1990. When Regiman, the Kagames,
the generation,
when they were leaving to go and go back to Rwanda, Yansu Vizanta again Akontwala as a kadogo, and then Rwanda.
Oh,
yes, he was in that circle, that community. So now, remember 1990, I was in P7.
Yo,
I was in P7, St. Teresa's primary school in Entebbe. So Nansu Vizanti, and Akuchimechiro, Tulaga. I was very angry at him. Unfortunately, he died after capturing, of course, Chigali and all that. Subsequently, over the years, he became a general or something like that. So that's how I missed the army. The other one, I missed out on the army when during the Lakwena insurgency. No, she was around the east.
Yeah,
it was around the east. They came and there was some recruitment. When again, I'm underage. The third occasion, I don't remember exactly the response I got as overage. So
you've been under, you've been over, so you're like,
and naturally, I admire the military as an institution. I think it's one of the most disciplined, productive, and progressive.
Yeah, I've got a chance to
institution
work with the military
in the whole world across over. They're like pilots. They're checklists. They're systematic.
Because even when you look at their savings, there was Alendo. It is very straightforward.
One of the biggest banks. I mean, we have in the country at the moment.
No wonder they are taking over contracts.
So that is my background.
That's camouflage. Missed out to be a soldier. How is it going? Big end of it here.
Well, as you know, industry twagisangawo to twenyumiriza nnyo mu bakasangwawo, the people abatusookawo, then they passed on the mantle to us. Kata nothing tekako amatafaali ge tusobodde okuteekako, but for me it gives me great joy and pride and pleasure okulaba nti ebintu bye twasikira ebimu naffe tuzaddemu. And for me, I'm most importantly very glad and very excited and very happy and very grateful and very honored to be alive at this okulabako. I have my peers who've passed on, my peers who've since fallen off the wagon, but for me, to consistently be active, intentionally be active, I'm still contributing. Not in a traditional sense, but you keep evolving, you keep morphing, you keep reinventing. Olagiba musayi muto nti, for example, as a DJ, tebikoma ku just kuba ngoma wali. You can become so many things. As a TV producer or as a generally multimedia producer, techikomao, you can become an admin, you can become an MD, you can become a CEO, you can become an ED, so many things. So just to see how the industry has evolved and seeing a huge spectrum of mikisa mingi, opportunities nyingi, tuna talent managers, tuna promoters, we have bar owners, event organizers, like there's so much that I didn't know I'd be alive to witness. In the industry, but other than that, man, we give thanks.
There is a lot.
Just to see new things in the industry.
If you know Kograde Bush, baby, and today I don't know even where to start. Naye sigana kwogera kula mobwe katwogere wogeze tugendeko East Africa music. There was a time when music was East Africa. We are all over. Ugandans used to perform in Tanzania, they used to perform in Kenya, Tanzanians are coming here. You know, it was like everywhere would be everywhere. Chachu kila dala. You know, we can spend a young at when Uganda against Tanzania.
Yeah, true. Yes.
What happened?
Rightfully so. So, ekindi kyali kitumbudde music wa East Africa was East Africa TV and Radio. The vision bearer, the late Rodney Mutiamengi, may his soul rest in peace. When I met him, he told me I have a hot 97 dream or vision for East Africa. When you Hot 97, it's one of the biggest, I think, hip hop, one of the biggest hip hop FM stations, I think, in New York. So yali ajegombanga nnyo, and it was a youth movement at that time. So nagamba nti njagala kuddayo waka. I mean, he yasomera bweru, so bana babagagga. So yakomawo muzeeyi nga alina frequency video biri redundant and things like that. So naye nga alina ekirooto ekyokugulawo one of the hippiest, one of the most funkiest, media outfits in the region. So what happens is the history is there were two channels. There was Eatv and Channel 5. So at that time nzijukira the late Honorable Mr. Nsand, Basoga Nsand, was the Minister of Information at that time and all that. He had won a license. So netulwawo okugulawo Eatv e Kampala.
Yalwawo
okujja wano. Ne Tanzania yalwawo okuopeninga. So in Tanzania we wanted to first launch Channel 5. Kati Uganda ne batusimba enninga nti mwina frequency, but it's idle. If you don't do something about it, so because Channel 5, I think, was ready, to come back to Channel 5 to take a kuchi, Eatv, that's how it becomes Eatv Channel 5. But just for okuda kumbozi kumulamu gwaffe, it was not just a media house, it was not just a media establishment. For me, East Africa was a revolution, was a movement, was an institution. At the time when urban East African music was now exploding and crossing borders, and the platform played a key role in having that cross-border culture exchange happen. Funako Gopa DJs, Calif Records, Dar es Salaam, Funa Bongo Records, Master J, Wanaume, Funa everyone became, I think, Feno, Steve Jinmani. So that exchange of of culture at that level is what gave rise to that energy. Unfortunately, for me, I keep insisting that the politicians at that time tebakwesa platform eyo ng'omukisa ogw'okulungamya the way we talk about jumuiya, the East African community. For me, that was the right moment, the right time to actually talk about uniting East Africa. Back to the other East African community, aliwo yabanyerere Bobote ba Jomo Kenyatta. I think that platform had set a foundation for that. If the politicians were a bit switched on and a bit alert at that time, singa katuli wara in terms of regional unity and all that. So because of East Africa, I think, I believe, remember we practically chased Channel O out of this market.
Everything.
Out of this market. So
Channel
it was
5.
so powerful. So again, I will re-echo this. East Africa TV, radio was more than a media house. It was a movement. So because of that, abana bafuna nye mikisa, at least those who were putting out content at that time, it were pushing regardless. We didn't have benchmarks into
connecting to necessary noise. That is
exactly that. Yeah, because of that. Yeah. So it's unfortunate that when the vision bearer passed on, unfortunately he passed on with the vision. But we continue to push that narrative in our individual capacities, in our respective countries. I worked with so many Kenyans, so many people from Rwanda, Burundi, Malawi, Zambia, Mozambique, South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania. So try building a network. People from Mombasa, Malindi, name it. So there are some of us who still believe in that vision, but we are now pushing it in our own interpretation. And that's the reason we're actually talking about it. Yes.
Okay, Bush Baby is here. Akonjagadde just kaisawo because Bush really played a big role. Music wanonga asala busaza, especially our urban guys, the hip hoppers, R&B. They really had chance to shine out there. Michael Ross, Aziza Zion, everyone had a chance to perform anyway.
Before they became Swangs Avenue.
Before, it was Babaluku.
Bangoni.
I know, right?
Yes.
Everyone,
everybody.
It was a connection.
Everybody,
and it's so sad that this generation, and we see Hot 100 Yagalao, and I think it has affected hip hop more, and urban music. Hot 100 Yokugalao, the radio cities are just very average. But anyway, today I want us to talk about Olugambo. Me okulira Olugambo lwa TV, lwa radio, it was on Uganda Central. And I think this was, I don't know, was this your initiative? Like that gossip thing. I know it was happening here at Red Paper, but
so globally it has always been a format, in terms of content delivery. On TV and radio, of course, there's a gutter press, tabloids, and things like that. It is so big in America, in the US. There's an industry of critics. Specifically, they offer constructive criticism to the industry. Okulungamia industry. So it's a huge community in the States, in America. It's really big. It's big and it's respected. Then you have people who belong to the gutter press. Gutter press at that time, Uganda, not out of disrespect, but Red Pepper. Red Pepper, Kampala Sun, tabloid. Katabobo, bakola olugambo naye there's a lot of self-censorship. Besikasikamu. Bamanyi nti Batt badru oli mufumbo naye waliwo ekinyonyi. Waliwo ekinyonyi ekirala, waliwo ebinyonyi birala byokwasaganya naye they tiptoe around the gossip and they dance around tebakireeta nga bwe kiri. So there is that format also. Kata having studied and observed that trend, I and a couple of other people, I normally don't want to own everything.
Because it was like consultant
since they come alive now. So we come up with some of these ideas of okulungamia abantu bafe. Typically in Uganda, I had a problem at the time when the Bebe Cools were Chameleon Bani when they introduced showbiz. The press, especially print, they fell for it. the print journalists fell for it. A lot of money went into that, of course. Okusasula omuntu akufunira article akuwandikeko bulungi nobanga okubye concert ne flopping abaja gamba yabadde akabi biki. So we had that owakabi syndrome. Okitegeera
buli omu yali abuildinga owakabi nga ebya motoka million 7
nga mulimu okujubisa, which is showbiz.
Yes.
But at some point I thought we had to call a spade, not to put people down, si kuzalawo abantu, but to show abaana abato abagala okuyingira kino ekintu nti yes, there is showbiz, there is excitement. It's not a walk in the park, but it's real life. It's not a sitcom, it's not comedy. There's real life. When you choose the kind of career paths some of us took, there's a certain side of reality. And that's the angle we took. And fast forward, twatandika ne Salama Jabri ne mkwano gwange bamuyita Josh Murunga muna Kenya netwakola naye Kenya abine Tanzania. Anetandikawo Planet Bongo mulimu gwayo gwali gwa kusunsula music videos. Kitegeera nogamba badru ndwakoze music video naye yambwa. Dayo kole kino DOP yalimbye wano tukitandikidde eri era twafuna obuzibu bwa threatened ne batukanga awo tujja bakuba tujja bagira biki, but it became an authority in the sense that video yo yabanga yali teyise mukasengejja kano tejja kuyitawo. So people began volunteering content by themselves and outlet. So when I came back home 2010-11 at Urban TV, waliwo concept generally mpandise era in the same line nenga given my personality I could not deliver that, so nenonya abaana nenkola auditions awo. Then I landed on Mary Luswata.
Yes,
very talented.
A nightmare to everyone.
Mundu mmenye. So netukolayo demo zalinga mwenda. She didn't have confidence nga atia bushi bagenda kunda babatia gaye bagenda kunteeka ngamba Mary tetuzimba goje, we just follow my lead. So actually what went on air as episode 1 was I think either the 9th demo or the 11th demo. Kitegeera? So kigenda kumpewo. After 2 weeks nzijukira Mr. Kabushenga was my CEO at that time. Nankubira simu nangamba Michael awuli otya azalizanga mwenda ogw'ekiro nsonyiwa okuzukusa koze nta nambuuza who is Mary. Nimugamba Mary is one of my presenters at Urban TV. What does she do? Koze she's a presenter. What does she present? Koze she presents a show about what? She gossip about what? Because it's just celebrity.
Question to question.
Yeah. Nagamba kale mukole ebintu byammwe. So in hindsight nenzijukira nti kya can be story betwakubanga. Olwo bagaye bamwitange mabega ne bamugamba mwana bukyali bwobo. Batuyisa mwana batulabisa bugaye
batulabisa. Because someone talks to the CEO director abagamba.
Ninga twali kumulamu. I mean, I remember we had a situation with Jackie Chandiru, very good friend of mine. There was an allegation that yajjamu olubuto Mary nakuba story natwandikira ebbaluwa nti agenda tusuwinga biki. Ningamba Mary kwate ebbaluwa eyo genda kumpewo muwe challenge mugambe wabata tajjanga mu lubuto ajja na evidence wabata tajjanga mu lubuto. There were so many scenarios. Then there was Angela Carolina yo part of a story chi. Then there was Doreen Komhanji was at NBS naye. She had a situation, but over time, okay, there was aggression. There was almost levels of bordering around violence towards Mary. Netumufulira city bakanyama counter terrorism. Nengenda wa HR nemugamba mwala mufulire motoka ya company ebenga yemujje wakaye mukomya nga yemutambuza ne police. The guys were threatening me inbox. We should get up book
the first it was new.
Yeah, but over time it became I think the industry saw the sense. Banga kirimo omulamwa. Kuba bino ebya buli omuntu alese oluyimbo oli wakabi. Akoze video oli wakabi. Akoze oli. Yeah, that owakabi syndrome was not good. Try to tukula. So we needed to flip the script a bit. Okitegeera to tulungamia ekintu but offer an alternative. So eventually Mary became a household name.
Yeah.
Wabanga takogeddeko toli wakabi. We even had something called I think Inbox Thursdays where nga tetukola show prep. nga oyingira buyingize mu inbox nosanga nga abaana bataddeyo material njogeraako nakoze kino nakubyoli natwayombye twereze wano mu bbaala biki I'm releasing this song, so it became like a special day for people who are just volunteering content. Now ekizibu kye nakola ne Mary is as a mentor or someone who's as a talent manager, samutendeka for the price you pay to become famous at that level. Samutendeka mentally ready, because it's very lonely at the top. Otuukayo ng'oli wakabi, buli omala oli wakabi, but how do you deal with that new status? So she went into a situation, I don't want to call it a depression, but she withdrew. The next minute she was resigning, she quit, and then she went to the UK. I struggled actually to find a replacement at that time until I landed on another crazy Munde Menye Tina Fierce.
Yo. Perfect replacement.
Yes, because it was a Yali property that was built around delivery of a certain skill, of a certain personality,
And a
character. Nobody could just do it. So when I go to Tina Fierce, unfortunately for Tina Fierce, I didn't spend a lot of time with her. That's the time I think I left Vision Group and went into other things. So Nemuleka, so she didn't get the right guidance and the right mentorship, things like editorial policy, how to things like objectivity, how to fact check, how to balance out a story, how to research and things like that. So some bintu ngebyo. So nagwa mbikopo. Nagwa mbikopo and of course even the team that was behind Hana Yonga Temulunga Myavulunji, it became worse when the pandemic happened, where people consumed a lot of media, like in real time, data ngalinga mazi, so people were so idle. And the people, I think, came to really interact with her content so much at that time. So we had a couple of issues here. I remember Sheila Gashumba, Mr. Gashumba, the Honorable Kutesa. There's a wealthy gentleman, Bamwita Kavuya. We had a couple of situations with the media council, and everything bingi UCC, Misango, and things like that. And then Tina was eventually banned
Totally banned
on Ugandan airwaves. It has never happened in Uganda, you understand? But normally I'm attracted to extreme talent, to amazing talent. I'm addicted. It's like chilling ogule taka oboguze taka if you're in the habit of buying land. Ogulako kaploti kamu ogenu klaba toyagala yaka. So even me, I'm like that when it comes to talent and managing and mentoring and all that. Atenze njua wo mubiri. For my talent, people know me, those who've abaise mikono jange nkuyira wo mubiri. So mbayira wo emibiri, and sometimes I become collateral damage. It's a sacrifice, it's a price I normally have to pay. I've lost jobs because I've defended people, because I've stood for what I think is upright and things like that. Nayo kuddayo ku mulamwa gwaffe ekibozi gye kyava era naawe when I was at Uganda Central, you were our correspondent, in Uganda. You were Walinga bureau chief in Uganda, and I'm so happy.
Short, but it was big.
Yeah, I don't know about sente wazijjanga wezo kwetekamu airtime n'okuba n'otuwa olugambo, but trust me, whatever you did, okay, gwolaba nti kaali kantu katono nnyo, but whatever you did made us very credible as a platform, as a media house, okitegeera. And information, I don't know that are you a student of mass comm?
No, I'm not.
Imagine. So it was just passion. Nenga otuwanga data nga jali, and people would look forward kuka segment tulaba nti kali akadakika 5 biki olumu wetu abatakimanyi nti sente za airtime wezaawulanga nga tukubira nga tu recordinga in advance, you understand. But for me, I respect you and I admire you for being very intentional about it. Walaba chance n'ogitwala, and we netukuwa platform, and I'm glad nti
It helped me a lot.
and you've built something out of it.
You see, joining talk and talk show is not food. Like you can't come from just nowhere.
Nowhere, yes.
Because I had a tag East African Radio.
Abantu gabakumanyi.
Yes.
I mean, I would go to Nairobi and people would ask me that boy, badru, Citizen TV, ngabambuza, lenga nabo bagala wino. Yo guy wako wino, yo guy.
Yeah, I remember they kept calling me. They kept calling me all the time.
So what you did, again to the young people, bavuka babamusayi muto abagala okunyira kino ekintu. Always be intentional. Ate wetekemu because you don't know how far. But again, I'll re-echo this. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy. Ne Kasuku.
Yeah, I know.
Kasuku nasoko mulabanga, I think ali mu Red Pepper. Then nemulabanga, I think ali ku UBC Star TV. I've observed his trajectory, his journey. I'm also proud of what he's made of himself out of that space. I think for him is I think he's naye yasomera Umkata, I think. Because I also went to Umkata. Yeah, Masscom students. So obalabanga mwana kintu abakirimu mu kivuga. We are also elevating and we are still in the same space, but we are playing at a different level. Tubalaga nti namwe temukoma kutalk and talk. I've seen what you guys have done with talk and talk, from the aesthetics, the set, the look and feel, which kati ne mugena muiga production. Ne single bukulu content muina. You have substance. So temujiroko, don't be intimidated. Just follow. The fundamentals are the same. The editorial policy is the same. Just be factual, be objective, be balanced. Do your research and put your information out there. So
bush baby.
Yes, and then okuva, of course, we Mary. It became a format. From gutter press in form of print, then radio. All no mami omlala. I have to give him props. Mami Seguya.
Yeah, Seguya.
Mami Seguya. To do what Seguya has done consistently. Seguya is the Luganda version of Fat Boy. Yeah. He's the Luganda version of Fat Boy. Fat Boy hamala miyake meka kusanyu. So Seguya to be at that slot or Lugambo kuchenja kubukedde. He's been to Americas, France, he's traveled the globe because of Lugambo. So consistency
and being intentional.
No limera kuchintu. Yes, and right now because of the new innovations in science and technology, kati mukola nebivulu because of that platform. You understand? You do other things. You're able to space yourself out and do other things and earn some small money. But manje guava. It's not something it's something that you built. So Neseguya, I give him his props and I really respect him in that angle. I think he's one of the few Lugambo, legit Lugambo bana mawulire betwinawo. Abatajusa. Then of course ababigwama abakopa they began trivializing things. The properties I won't mention. Of course, Batukopa.
Yeah, of course. Hello,
different TV stations.
Everywhere now. There's a light-skinned girl, there's a black one. Yeah, of course, that was the format.
Exactly, yeah, because it became an easy format to sell, to make money, to easily attract sponsors and things like that. Yeah, but where most of them go wrong is again the fundamentals, disregarding the fundamentals professionally, which is editorial policy. Katindaba, most of the traditional media houses are into socialites, TikTokers, Facebook. As long as you have numbers,
you have to get your numbers.
But also, nyongera to obakubiza bamusaye muto abayingiddemu, especially TikTokers or those newbies who are coming through these new platforms. Much as you have numbers, you have a huge following here and there. Dayo somako fundamentals. The basics. You will become much more relevant, and even you become much more valuable to someone who's giving you a job. But just because you have 10K followers on Instagram or 40K followers on TikTok, so it's not a guarantee. It's a pass. There are certain things we know kuitamu.
Because you might come and then your numbers might.
Exactly. I think banji nyo. So you need a wow factor. What is the differentiator between Kadgament, your Linda Den, and there's a Zahara Toto? What is the USP between Linda Den, Zahara Toto, itanya bana banji kati mbalaba I've seen some of them are branching into DJing and things like that. They're becoming innovative, and that is because there are so many tools, especially the soft tools, is readily available that make them be able to apply them. So tubadde twogera no nga tunaba kutandika ku recording anti tuli ku kasimu with a gimbal naye mu biseera ebyange singa ebitaali biri wano singa kamera ebitaala kamera mixer sound engineer wali I remember when Good Life had just broken away from Chameleon. My first exclusive interview with them wali Enyanama nga bakyali Enyanama wali twagenda with my crew. Used to fly with
I remember when Eatv used to come here.
Yes, yeah, bro. Uganda Central.
Uganda
so
Central would be like...
so that setting ebitaala baine ngato. I noticed two things baine ngato. I also love shoes, okay?
Yeah, bali
ngato nga zijuddawo ku kisenge bweziti force ne bia emyenge nga giri awo n'engoye. So moze n'agamba kale boshi kale bino ebintu wabikoleranga Kamiri wabikoleranga Chameleon bino kati laba katabikolera fe.
Because by then
level exactly, but I'm so happy that technology has simplified most of these things, and you guys are able to pull off amazing content. You've taken up citizen journalism. You're contributing to so many agendas in your own ways. I'm very happy for that. Very happy for that.
Vibe Life UG tuline bush.
Even DJing. Whenever I would fly in, otuka entebe nga na flight case nga nnya emwe eri mu turntable biri zimuva ino endala eri musimanyi meza n'engoye aba URA ne bakulemera kaawo musajja goze kolaki. No, you're importing stuff, you man. First come aside. No, these are my tools of trade. These are vinyls, these are records of it. This is called a turntable. It plays music. This is a mix. But nowadays, you come with like a flash, like a basic flash.
We have a show called Baliwa where we go back and look at people.
Yes.
And I think you will have to come there for your journey.
Yes.
Our Edison and Jenkins because I will interview you.
Yes.
Anytime. The critiquing, like critics, and I remember your kind of game you had hitting. There's a time go hosting Jenkins Bukas and Robert Kalumba.
Yes, Robert Kalumba.
That was
Moses Serugo.
Had hit.
Yes.
I think that's the first time Ugandan artists felt like they are criticized. It was like an idea or
no, it is. I mean, it's that is how I was trained to do professional work. And professional work, Tolimba, Tojubisa, you don't slander, you don't character assassinate. You call a spade. As long as it's objective, it's factual, it's well balanced, and then research, and you have evidence. So even up to now, to date, even the platforms I'm trying to, the new platforms I'm trying to also. I'm a student. I'm still a student.
Yes.
But still, that's why I said fundamentals. Zisigala fundamentals. Foundation. The platforms might change. You might be on YouTube right now, but doesn't mean that we're going to YouTube because you want likes and numbers and notifications and subscriptions all in bay. It doesn't work like that.
Of course, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
I've seen people who are
exactly.
And because someone take a headline, Bush baby, Gambia run a Chameleon. When someone anonya story another video
so for me, I chose that path, and I think that's why I've remained Sigadinga and Chari wa mugaso mu industry, because Sili Malaika, but I'm dependable. I keep my word, and I keep it professional in whatever way. I still come out and rectify it in a professional way. In a professional way. Even at that time when we introduced Mary Leswata, I would reach out. I remember Gagamel was very, very furious. But I reached out to Bebe Kulimga. Bebe, you understand, you're busy when Kakayango, Nelawa Mambo Bana, that you have a foundation from Nairobi, and you're expert.
And you brought it
but Chameleon, all those guys, I reached out to them. Magamba, no, we're in the same thing, but it's just the approach. But we appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the feedback. But Juliana Band, now we reached out and they appreciated. They appreciated. So for me, Wagamanti hard hitting. It's not hard hitting. It's just being professional, being objective, being intentional, and just doing your work the way you are trained. Ngawe bakutendeka. As simple as ngawe muchikola ku talk and talk. Ochitegera. Sandy is a professional. Is a trained, storyteller. In Musomesa, first of all, I think, by profession. Jenkins is a PR guy. He's a market guy. He's had some time in corporate governance and things like that. So abitegera. So that's all it takes. There's a framework. There's a lane within which ngatojubisiza tosasamizanga. And then I want you guys to understand one thing. As long as you have access to space like this, me and you can face into a camera, you have a microphone, that is a lot of power. Agomanyi manji nyo bedroom gana wange. So
to record it and someone
yes.
is going to
So
sit
how
there
we
and
use
watch
it, we need to be very, very careful. Very, very careful how we use it, because agomanyi manji nyo ogamba bugamenti, hey, what's up, wagwan, muli mutya,
and people then, like, yeah, they comment,
then obuwumbi bw'abantu ne bukulaba. It means you have influence, you're influential, you have power, oyina amaanyi mangi. So agamanyi ogakoze muntu, ogafunamu ng'omuntu, but also the community, society, your country. So mwina responsibility ya national guidance, mwina okulungamya eggwanga, then mwina okusomesa, mwina okuyigiriza, of course n'okusanyusa, n'okusanyusa, but okusanyusa nga kiri objective. Of course you can, for dramatic effect, you can kujubisa in a professional way. Even the movies etulaba balina bibagetaagetamu just to director aberenga aina wakufunanga wakuhukinze nenga olabanga ali he's within professional boundaries or professional SOPs. So that space, that's why we have institutions like our regulators like UCC, the Media Council and all that, which together among other functions, they're to make sure that people like us, people like you, mufune engeri yobalungamya, so that you offer national, you contribute to national guidance. Obviously there's information again, especially podcasters, there's information that yandibanga ntuufu, because I've been in a typical newsroom and it's very depressing being in a typical newsroom. Also call a story ogenze kanungu ogenze kabera maido komyo ne story nga ya kabi segera wo ovudde capture story nga ya kabi nojua editor najita mnagamba ya kabi na ye. It is a threat to national security. But you need to be objective. You need to understand why is he telling you that in a story is a threat to national security. It was in Mutima. But I've seen people nazimo mutima na resigning na quitting never kusasudde. First bakusasudde katozimo mutima gwachi. So there's information that deliberately has to be screened, because we begenda mbantu bisobola okusasamaza eggwanga oba abatuuze. You saw what happened in 1994 in Rwanda, the genocide. I believe 90% of that genocide was because of media. Bantu kugenda ku radio ne boogera ebintu mugende mbasale mbatemeeteme mugire. So we wield a lot of power as long as we have access to a camera and a microphone. I think it's even worse with citizen journal. Kati buli omu na mawulire, buli omu alina essimu. You understand? That's why mainstream media is still relevant and it's going to be around for so long, because they're gatekeepers. Ojja kulaba ekintu ku TikTok, olaba ekintu ku Facebook, olaba ekintu ku Instagram, whatever. Naye still ojja kuddayo ku NBS, Bukedde oba NTV to verify.
Even on Facebook, if someone posts,
namawulire.
Look for a verified.
Kati nazukuse I had a late night errand. Kati nazukuse nenda banga bu notifications mu WhatsApp groups bungi nokulaba kiki naye kumbe waliyo cabinet reshuffle ne ba general bambuse biki but I could not believe it until I had to go back to emikutuji, the official gatekeeping platforms so even us as we of course now the stakeholders, especially the regulators, have to work backwards to work with people, to work with how technology is evolving. Ntero gamba abantu ndi mutabanyi wange, he's a coder. He can open up a radio station mu bedroom one wafe one obone kubira no ku terrace one kali UCC na msanga. You understand? So they also have to work backwards and see how they can
self control ngomuntu ayina amaanyi.
Yeah, self control.
Really, very important.
Self censorship in a professional way. But also don't shy away from holding society accountable, calling out people, leaders especially. Let's not shy away. We have that power. The people about TTZ, I'm seeing so many campaigns, so many exhibitions, one on the Wali, one in the Wali. But let's use this chance not to okwonona okusasamaza, but okulungamia. If it's corruption, what can we do? What can you do? What contribution, what conversation can you contribute in terms of corruption? If it's service delivery, if it's ntibayimbi oba banakatembo oba people in the performing arts, tebafuna bwenkanya mfocho gamba nti tuyombye hashtag tugenda bandu kula paka kuwulira bubi okikoze otya like to address that in a more sensible, logical, netufuna solution. Tugamba nti copyright is an issue, mfocho kuyomba kuvuma abantu. How can we use these tools to address these things and we become better as an economy, and most importantly as an industry? So we have a huge responsibility on our shoulders. Ngabula again Tanzania ngom na Uganda nenchikire gwanga lyange twaina na Kenya, but I did everything I could to make sure that Uganda stands out. And to date, people actually thought Eatv was a Ugandan channel. But it's because I was very intentional. My flag, I wanted my flag to bendera nga yeewuuba eza Tanzania Kenya sizifaako naye nga njagala omuna Uganda wali agamento oyo chali waffe, oyo boy waffe, oyo blood waffe, oyo muyaye waffe, okitegeera. Yeah, so and I'm glad I did that. It's not a regret, naye kinnuma nti nali muto, so ebintu ebisinga nali neezuula.
Of course.
Nali neezuula naye sitamanya nti mu kwezuula okwo byali byakabi, nali kola byali byakabi. And I was inspiring people, I was motivating people, I was empowering people, as people I still meet people and nebangambe ebintu. Some of them are forgotten. Now I'm like, oh my God, I was such a kid, but I'm glad God made me a vessel, made me a gift, to do that. And I'm glad I was able to make that small contribution to so many people in the industry. But I'm just happy that I was able to okwesa platform eyo okuchikira eggwanga lyange and to make a small contribution to the industry.
And by there is a platform called mbu.com.
Yes.
Mbu.ug from my friend Josh Ruby.
Yes.
And I remember we had that segment in www.mbu.com.
Yes, exactly. It has exactly.
And I know he was inspired from that to make that.
There are two sources. My friend Julie Erusa,
Jali, she was the manager of Janzi Band.
But she was a co-founder, musicuganda.com with the late P-Tech.
Yes.
I think it was the first music or entertainment website in Uganda, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Also, High People was there, highpeople.com.
At that time, nenga gwe ampanga wino mulala namujanga ku musicuganda.com. Kitegeera. Nenga anyway, byebyo really.
Vibe Life UG, Bush Baby, DJ Bush Baby gwenina era right now njya twogere ku DJing. You outstood during the times, and you would come in here and go again, guest DJ, and our DJing industry by then, yali. Because I think East Africa TV opened up our eyes and radio to know what DJing meant. Wanonga computers, my PC DJ ready, and
virtual DJ.
They would praise the guys till we saw and we were like, and then there was time we would hire Kenyan DJs to come and play.
DJ Pinye, Code Red, DJ Styles, Black Star, Bali Banji Nyo, Cream de la Cream, Bali Banji Nyo.
So I believe revolution came to Spin Masters. Spin Masters,
yes. So here's the thing. Nze dynamics are mingi, Batt, dynamics are mingi. And that has been my journey. Nti ebitongole bya mawulire byonna byenkozeemu, they are multifaceted. They have strategic business units. Nti mulimu radio, mulimu television, mulimu amawulire. Now there's digital. There are so many forms of media within that space. So chiri joli ogamba nti radio is going to be my main thing, but ngenda gwako mu production TV to complement. Then maybe I'll try and be a columnist in print or over website. I also contribute some stories. So as lucky into all the media establishments or outfits I worked for, all had strategic business units, and they had a multimedia sort of layout. So nenesanga nine mikisa mingi nnyo. So I could be a presenter on radio. I could produce radio. I could be a producer on TV. I could apply myself as a presenter, you know, in television. I could operate a camera. At some point, naimba nako.
Hey, music but all that will come in on Valiwa. Yeah.
Naimba, but also nenesanga nti mukuyimba oko I had access to free airtime. I could go to Steve G nenkola oluyimba. Okitegeera Steve G nankolera oluyimba nenzirayo. I'm the program director. Ningamba amana olomukube emirundi 8. So nenesanga I'm overly blessed, but ejemikisa gyali mingi nga nensalawo nti nina okwefiirizayo ezimu. I focus on one thing, gino gisigadde ndabenga ngabirako abalala. So that is how I left music, because I was not ready for the kind of fame that comes with music. I was not ready for that energy. So nengamba, let me just focus on now basically communication, media, PR and all that. Nenkozese all those platforms okuvumbula n'okutumbula ebitone bya basically to support abantu abalala batalina mikisa nga nze. It was very effortless and very easy for me to just get someone's najanga wano in Kampala. I remember when utake night at Stakeout ningenda wali ku Eastern Road ningamba muganda wange Shirum nimugamba na DVD ziringa 50 wano yocha buli gasiya goina muteke ku DVD ku CD ne DVD ezo teka kuba underground oba hit oba biki oba demo byonna bitekeko kuba njagala nzire eri Tanzania. I represent abana bakolechi basimbule baveyo. You understand? So when you talk about DJing, it's the same thing. I became a DJ actually by accident, like in the actual sense of the word DJ. I was just an average radio presenter running boards, microphones. But when I found in Tanzania, I found out that their FM philosophy is different from ours. Ours is more of a British format where Guakola boards, there's a music selector for you. You make what we call the links or get a microphone. But when I went to Tanzania, I realized that they have an American philosophy, which is you have a presenter at Laku console, and then you have a DJ, an actual DJ who comes with records, or CDs. Yeah, Zanya music.
It started from there.
Yes, so I think so.
Yeah,
exactly. So my partner in crime was DJ Rico, rest in peace. He was my sidekick. Gwenakolanga na show ajita Soul Train. So after some time, yafunamu ebizibu. I think as a talent, as a human being, yafunamu ebizibu. Then he began absconding from work. Singa bidding ataja kumulimu. So nga sina DJ. So show ne chuka. It's a mix show chimenya ndimzanya music back to back. But I realized I used to observe what he was doing on the decks, the turntables. Nengamba ne wachisigena mu library nenfuna turntables awo. Yeah? Nezija nengezaako. Nezija nitandika show nekuba links zange awo nekuba obulango nekuba mentions zange nengenda ku turntables. Of course, time yasooka wa engalabi zaali mawo paka engalabi. Then after the second day, third day, fourth day, and bangamba gwe like when I went to gwe. So it was motivation. People encouraged me. That's how I became a DJ. Now how I actually break out and nangene nenematira nti wakabi. There was a specific show called The Cruise by DJ JD, John Dillinger. Every day at 7 p.m. Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. That was a big show. It was a flagship evening show. Ngaya akabi. So John Dillinger ngagenda alwala. Nangamba mshikaji wangu bushi nisaidia you sit in for me today and whatever. Ningenda nefuna music awo bichalo olono ngamanyo ku DJing akati I'm confident, I'm versatile and all that. Nakuba show. Mayingo ino obusungu. Nakuba show. That show is what officially gave me the seal of approval as a professional DJ. I never stopped from there. I never stopped from there.
Yeah, from the DJ bellies, turntables.
Yeah, very used to turntable. Most of these balubato bani.
Yeah, mayinja. What happened to guys again okuda ku computer?
So what happens is I'm part of the generation that was in between the digital transition. We had the actual vinyls. Mbina ni wani wakati mbina. I still have them. So we had that technology over time when things were becoming digitized. It was an evolution that was happening across the entire music spectrum. So it affected technology. At some point, it affected music and all that. So even DJ technology was affected in that aspect. Now, government, whenever I would fly in for, let's say, Utake night, najanga ni flight case nene ziringa nya. All of a sudden, tuna CDs. So we files never compressing ku CDs. From CDs,
then you have a CD bag.
Then you have CD bags now. Yeah, the CD bags kuzitoa. Then from CDs, I think to adaku flash. You have a floppy, walibu floppy over flash. Then flash nituja ku drives. Now we are in the cloud. So change like that is inevitable. The music even why piracy can't be totally eradicated is because of those evolutionary projections in how we consume these things. Steve Jobs now Napster bagana compressing our files bichi where you can easily, we used to buy albums, proper albums, ngogula cassette over album. Then abana ne technology go solo ko uploading a music, like you can rip a CD or a tape no biteka ku computer buli omu na accessing a music code ne chichankanya in the whole world. That's how Steve Jobs and of course with Apple comes up with the, I think with the iPod, which compressed exactly exactly yeah. So all those things tosola so you either adapt or kino kivako nogera nolime mwanyi.
But then Ugandans are hypocrites. When our DJs were watandkozanya PCDJ video kabaka muvacho yo kabaka, again they would hire Kenyan DJs to come and play on the decks.
And kati, having the software is one thing, or having the tools is one thing, but can you deliver an experience that meets people's expectations? Never cho DJ so kube chivulunga chava cho DJ nechinyuma nenga kino kubeera mu wow factor otabula otya, how do you interact, how do you engage with the crowd, okitegera mix master byonna ebyo osobola like you can. I was one of the people who abalwawo actually to appreciate and embrace that technology. I have a friend in Kenya, DJ Adrian. Achako isa mayinja yagana. Even when Ogopa would give him, when he would get bongo flavor or when he would get Ugandan music, he would fly to LA. Then nayo chama inja. So for him, it's a user preference for him. So ne one yes, abana bafuna PC DJ Rota, I remember, was big. Was big in that space. But I think why in Songa Lwachi tebaba matira, they were kugamba white but showbiz presentation performance
DJ performance rather than just playing.
Baite bana bachiga naye kati bachiga, and of course bachigira kubana Kenya DJ Styles could come here, then he caresses the microphone and atakula wakantu nakubaka scribble ka scratch awo bichi DJ KD sabana ne balaba ne bayiga. So on top of the technology, I think we have to give credit where it's due. That's not overblast. Those abana bakuze. Sometimes I go out nature no kutia mwana kubenonga natakula endongo nogamba now the disadvantage is that banji there are so many, so it goes back to the same thing we are addressing. So muli banji, how do you stand out from the pack? How do you stand out from the crowd? How do you stand out?
Because I remember Spin Masters,
of course now when you talk about Spin Masters kati aonga the DJ culture efuse ensonga. So corporate entities big money balabanga it's a space that's very influential. But I got ochiteka center, and I'm very glad and I'm very happy again to be alive to witness that. So ochiteka center, they began with what I call gladiator sessions, which were DJ competitions. Spin Master, we got DJ Aluda, we got DJ Ricky. In Kenya there's DJ Mfalme, abana bali banji who are products of those
the Rogers,
exactly, Mark Switch, Magic Switch, yes, bana banji. So I'm very happy to see that the culture nzabazadde gye banvumira nga muntu oli muyaye kati gwe bitaba bikulemye laba embaata nga bebekulu that's bebekulu laba embaata aganye okusoma kati mwamba agenda kuba nnongo kati. Today Today, on average a week, I get like over 7 phone calls from respectable members of society. Bazadde bagamba Bush baby tuyambo tukwatire ku mwana mulungamye wano agala kubeera DJ, agala kubeera kino, agala kubeera nga ggwe. Nze bwe natandika byalinga bya kiyaye. Now fast forward, you're seeing the breweries, beverage companies, you're seeing all these corporate companies, you're seeing people with good money investing in that space, promoters. Kyetulina okukola kati as an industry, again, we need to build trust. Kuba tukyalinamu, we still lack professionalism. Tulina building that trust so that we can attract that big money. Kuba abantu balowooza tukyalinamu, we waste money, we don't have business etiquette. So I think now where we've reached, the challenge for them, now they have the skills, they have the technology, they have the technology, they have the skills, they have the exposure. Ebifo ebiri abaana bakuba ennongo, abaana bemmanyi mu wiiki akuba ennongo emirundi ena, like 4 nights, but in those 4 nights akuba mu bifo nga bisatu oba bina. So the space is there. So what we need to do right now is to build trust within that night economy, so that people can trust us, investors. Abantu abalina sente ez'okwonoona eziri zeba fumigating, mpulira waliwo sente zeba fumigating, bazifuuyirira. Balina sente ezitudde nga baagala ozifunamu oba to multiply it. They can approach us and we can put that money to proper use for them.
And then girls coming in eventually.
Oh, they're very exciting. Very, very exciting. With what Andikid, of course, it was a male-dominated industry. The industry has evolved. The stereotyping has gone to Chalibayaye. I can walk into a boardroom, I meet CEOs. So no mu boardrooms tutuyingiramu ne crocs. N'ebinu wesala ekino ne croc noyingira mu boardroom ne bakuwuliriza because you're spewing sense. Now, exactly. Now to see, it's not about how you look. N'ebiviiri byo wumudde amatu kati basiga n'enjala. Yeah, but because you're spewing substance and you have a solution to their problems, they are willing to give you, their money. So they'll pay attention to you. So I'm very happy, very excited to see gender inclusivity. Kulaba nti abakyala, abawala, abaana, abato, nabo bakiyingiddemu. It's good space. It's good space, and we need that balance. We need that balance, but nobody said it should be limited to a certain gender. Yes. So I'm very happy and very excited.
And I think
in my lifetime.
When they just come, Gary, they were just excited. They just come on the days.
Yes.
But now they
balinga abalenzi we batandika. Now balowooza maybe they'll use sex appeal to sell, but sex appeal inawe ekoma. Bagala kulaba waka. They want to see chicho tadde ku meza. So again, let's give them a chance. Let's give them time. They will evolve with time. Of course, any girl, any day will have an upper hand compared to a male DJ because they have a lot going on. But by the mere fact that they are ladies, they have a lot going on that they can manipulate to be ahead of the curve. For in terms of competitiveness, they have a lot at their disposal that if they use it objectively, they can actually take over this industry.
Vibe Life UG, Bush Baby, we are winding up. Of course, we're going to mufuna on Baliwa to tell us his journey, his lyric journey about him. A lot of songs.
Yes.
It's been a journey. Yeah. What are you up to, Kati projects? What's coming up?
So nga nkugambye, of course, emyaka tugenda tukula. Personally, physically, I'm tukuze.
Of course.
50 years, emyaka 5. Ogenda okula waliwo ebintu. There are things now that require young man's energy, youthful energy, which I don't have. So I'll ewetega.
You still play?
I still play. But the reason I'm playing, Sinti, you're looking for food or what? But as someone who's been entrusted with, by default, with leadership, with mentorship, people look up to you so much. it's only fair that olungamia by example. People will trust you, people will believe in you, people will take you seriously if you lead them by example. Twali ne maje tosobola kubeera muduumizi w'amagye nga mwana bakubako omuzingo ogumunga ogwakaba gwalina osookayo olabe guguddewa. So that is my intention of consistently being in that space. I believe the amount of experience, the wealth of knowledge I've amassed over the years, sagala kufana byo. Banjagala ebimumbi mbigabireko abaana nabo bayigeko. But again, life, as I said, is continuous. Obulamu tebukoma leero. Like, life is continuous. I'm still a student of life. I was once a teacher, nekata I'm a student. Yeah. So I've elevated. I'm still within the same space, still DJing, as you said. Yes, I still DJ. Television, the back end, doing a lot of executive production, directing, doing lots of strategic marketing and sales. I'm into sales, it's a big passion. Then conservation. I'm into conservation as well. Simbe miti, like it's my go-to happy space and things like that. But at a career, professional level, I'm still in the same space. I'm contemplating to do so many things. I was in Gambia Nalimuto, and I exponentially grew through the ranks very fast to a point nti sanyumirwa jane eyo. 1 minute you're a presenter, 1 minute you're a programs director, 1 minute you're a head of radio, 1 minute you're the head of station, 1 minute you're a deputy MD, 1 minute you're an MD, 1 minute you're a station manager. So things happened successfully very fast. So I didn't have time to really enjoy some of those appointments. I'm healthy. So I'm now working backwards. Areas where I felt safu na munyo. So I get that satisfaction. Okay, at least when far, at least I'll die a contented person, a happy person. That at least I fulfilled my desires in that space. So I'm working backwards now. I'm working backwards in areas just to catch up with areas where I felt maybe I might come back as a singer as well. But I don't know.
And then lastly, there's the weekly rap competitions you guys do.
Yes. So
our viewers.
So part of again other creative or artistic or industry initiatives I'm involved in. We have a project. We have a project with a group of friends. It's called Wazodazo. With Josh the Fixer, my brother Josh the Fixer. So we came up with this initiative. But in a sensible way. Nti normally tulaba abaana bavaayo kati ndaba muguno omulembe olaba omwana nga ali ku TikTok ndaba abaana ba DJ for example balaba akuba scratch mu bedroom ye abeerawo nakwata ka video n'akateekayo, but at the end of the day, so what happens? You understand? So the reason Wazodazo, one of the reasons Wazodazo was actually created among other platforms that I represent was to first of all offer guidance, to people like that. They don't know where to go after. Then what next? This, of course, mulimu abayimbi, mulimu DJ, comedians, the whole 360, the whole 9 yards, basically. If you're a dancer, so we're here to basically offer objective guidance to talent. So there's a franchise called Nexters. Ngawolaba Idols, Got Talent, The Voice. So platform ya kuzula bitone and elevate and enable them achieve their either the aspirations, dreams, and explore, become adventurous, and show them that there's no limit to how successful you can be. So it's called a Nexters. The adventures, with the tagline, the adventures of tomorrow's stars. So chiri again multifaceted. Mulimu season 1 yaba rappers era twagikoze to demonstrate that it's possible and this is how it genda okubeera. There's a singers edition which is under construction. There is a making the band edition, which is also under construction. There's a comedy edition.
Project.
There is a dancing edition. So bingi, 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 bingi. Yeah, but
And then the prices,
it is to demonstrate to bamusayi muto nti ekitone ky'olina olina okifunamu.
Is that why you giving
Whether
out
you like
the cash prize?
we shall come to that.
Okay.
Whether you like it or not, olina okifunamu. Either by giving back to society or by kenyini okifunamu. And most importantly, financially. I mean, it's pointless to. It would be very sad if you're a genius and you die broke. So if you're a genius and you're out there, you're the kind of people we're looking for. Then Wogambecha cash prize, of course, sometimes you have to, it's one of the ultimate sacrifices you have to make to omanyi we have ideas. You're a creative. I'm sure you've done concepts. Nogenda nokonkona, nogenda wana magamba acha kino kifu. Nogenda eri ne bagamba kino kifu. Nogenda kuteleka omwe nagamba acha tekigenda kola. So do you give up? No, you have to come out and say no. Ngenda mungambe nti kigenda kola, ngenda balaga nti it is possible kancheteremu kigenda kola yakija kwatira kati kyakutteyo, and we're getting so many phone calls, and I'm very happy that guys have seen. I mean the fraternity, the industry has seen the cause. They're embracing the causes because it's data. It's based on data mining. There's a lot of good feedback and information we're getting back end, which we're going to, of course, screen and then isolate what works for us to help us now build the subsequent platforms. Then always was a chobuzizawo. Again, omulamu gwa kutumula bitone naye okufunamu. I'll tell you why. Nze never nange. Okay, I'll speak on my behalf. When I ingira kino ekintu, try to be around Bugolo flats. Ewa muzeyi. Navire waka, I think at the age of 25. Sasula masanyalazi, sasula mazzi, sigula kawunga waka, sigula kwebaka. Yeah, nonyeza buwala eno, tambu duka you get the point, eh? So and then we had a lot of time until when you would make a mistake, you would have time to go and correct that mistake. You understand? So but bamusayi muto, I keep saying this, era njasiba nchiddamu, they don't have those chances. Kitegeera? But bamusayi muto ojasanga DJ, for example, oba muyimbi nga ayina osasula rent, ayina akazigo ke, ayina osasula rent, ayina sister babiri abali ku campus bali okusasulira tuition fee, ayina maama nga mulwadde oba taata nga mulwadde, ayina ebirwadde these terminal illnesses balina omutwala India, ayina akawala ke yawadde olubuto ka baby mama, ayina okulabirira omwana awo. Do you understand? Yeah, tatana kitegeera nti ayina okusasula emisolo ne URA yeah, so they don't have time. So that's why when they get a chance, they have one shot. For us, we had so many shots. So that is also the other gap that Wazodazo has come in to bridge. Nti bakwanta abana bangi, ebitone bingi byetaaga guidance. They need to be objectively guided. That obalage nti industry oba ogiyingiddemu, this is how you move, this is the kind of people you need, this is how you behave. Mufo ky'okubeera n'abaleebeesi abakwatira amasimu, funamu lawyer, funamu PR executive, funamu a nutrition expert, funamu a physical expert, a therapist, a financial advisor or manager, an accountant, a stylist, omuntu nga Brian's, okitegeera no onboarding, mufo ky'okubeera ne bawololo nga bakwetolodde bonna, ate nga gwabasasula. You understand, eh? Ifunamu security, someone who's in charge of your security because you're a star. Alex Peter Sematimba raised some of us. Agamanti, actually his problem with the current generation is that they are not confident enough. Oli ku radio, omuntu ali ku radio naye omuwulira ayogera mu kazindalo ng'owulira their demeanor. Omuntu omulaba ku TV tali authentic. I don't know that it's a self-esteem issue. So Peter Sematimba tells you, if you want to be a star, yeah, or if you get a chance and walk in the shoes of a star, make sure you look like a star, behave like a star, smell like a star, look like a star, talk like a star, eat like a star. ne wagamba ndi olaba nina obutambala nga 8 wano asiba agira bwatyo because I'm a star tena kundabanga ntuyanye. Yeah, so that is the other part of showbiz that also needs to be better education in that space. You understand? Better education in that space. So bamsaye muto, you need to own that space. Oyina microphone. Lwacho kankana oyina camera. Look at people like Uncle Mo. Look at people like Uncle Mo. Yeah, Uncle Mo yangamba ko story ye. Yalina team nenga team tembereramu nagamba ze kankwate kamera wano ngenda ku recording njanja chukubirawo njana byetemera. Look at Uncle Mo osomufuna kunga twena bukadde musanvu. Tosobola. But there's an ultimate price that he paid. Yes, the same thing you did. I was in Dar es Salaam, oliwano ebusabala kubutuze wane Kampala gama zikankubire bush ono ngina mukubira. And you began as a random phone caller because you had a call-in session and kutuma salam. Kubesimu obali na masuba, obali na jana nkumbi simanyi bichi. Kubesimu aoye, oli simanyi wabusega kubesimu. Then a young boy calls in and says njagala ba lugambo nekitandikirawo. Then you became consistent, which brings me to being intentional. You became consistent. Uli wakubanga nga gwe totumira nga gwe otuwa wino. You understand? Nga gwe otuwa wino. And I'm glad that you carried through and look at what you've become of yourself. Yeah, so basically behavior.
Yeah, Vibe Life UG. This is the Uganda Central team. Okay, Bush Baby is coming back by the officially. I know it. In like 3 weeks' time, Ajakubaja for his story, Baliwa, where he's been, where he started his journey, about him. Out Multimedia Radio, the DJing, the teams, the Steve Kafayas, there, Sebo, Bani, Ajakuba Vogerako. Where the Bush? Say hi. Before we sign out, you've seen my journey, our story. Mwabali frontline cut. For the sake of those who are watching right now, how I made money or how I used to make money oba engage na linsa suluamu nafuna ngo musala. Mwe mukola mutya sente? Mutya. Bamusaye muto ba. For us, I'm self-employed right now. No, ngamba in the context of what we are doing. Yeah, in the context of what we are doing. Assuming this is a podcast. Yeah, how does it make money? Of course, or how do you get paid out of this kind of content or a platform like this? I have the viewership. I will go to an office. It's a company. I knock in. I tell them this is my numbers. This is how I can advertise. So you get things like endorsements. Yes, I have advertisers here, plenty of them. Kuba cha mugaso nnyo abana bakitegeere. But you don't see it, even if you have how many numbers and you sit and you're like, let me wait for them. Yes. Sometimes you have to go there, no question. I need to show you something, knowing your office. You know, Muraga, these are my numbers. Real time, generated, they're organic. If I put here your advert, 10,000 people will view it and it won't be. So basically, Chota Gambia is have a business plan. So you have a business plan. Yes. So behavior been very thrilling and very happy. Tuliwano ti mukawewo ndoza nalubale mulaba potbelo mulaba nyumba y'omugagga oli enyuma y'omugagga eri sijja mwogera linnya naye mugiraba tuli eno mukawewo tufuyefuyeko wano. It's a beautiful view. I love water. There's something therapeutic. There's just something therapeutic about water, about being in touch with nature and all that. Luzira prison yiri mabe fula bamageze amanji. That's the University of Understanding. That's the University of Understanding. There's Mutungo Hill. So basically, yeah, this is it, man. Life goes on. You can't grow. No wonder you're not growing. We are going to grow older than you. Yeah, so tweyongere okulungamya abaana
And please, I'm always available. I'm always available for.
And thank you for the opportunity
to share.
Now.
Yes.
The opportunity from the start, even the opportunity now. Could you
Yes.
checking Gambaya? That's my boy.
Yes.
Jamu to call it anytime.
Nembwa tulunda sebo. Nembwa tulunda. Kano kalango
nembwa tulunda.
Yagala embwanga za security oba. Just pets. Buli chika every breed. We even import. Onakola byo ku YouTube oba ku Instagram tusobola kuleetera. So that is where we are. And all these are passion.
You can reach me on my numbers and I'll reach you.
Exactly. So these are passion initiatives. Yes, these are passion initiatives. But thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, Bush.
Bado tunawakilisha au vipi?
Habari ndio hiyo.
Habari ndio hiyo. Yes.
Peace out.
Yes.